Hello everybody, this is Jerome Wright, and once again you're joining me on my Jeronification channel here on YouTube. Okay, and in this video I will be presenting to you an amazing video with regards to the Olmec heads um, and the the rationale behind such objects being created. Okay, it's my position in all of my videos that I have here on YouTube that nothing mattered more to our ancestors than who they genetically were, meaning their genetic identities. And each and every one of these ancient artifacts, in some cases megalithic structures, they reference who our ancestors genetically were. Genetic bloodlines, how they were bridged over, genetic manipulation, and a continued maintenance process that actually evolved around cult-like rituals, which these beings engaged to alter their genetic being. Okay, from the origins of what they actually evolved from, which I actually know. Each and every civilization of our world, um, ones that are in today, in the modern day, back to every of those that are on record, and then remarkably, I can take us beyond that to ancestors that you had no idea ever existed. Through my paranormal experience and encounter that allows me to do so. Okay, our Olmec heads. We have been trying to figure them out for, it seems like, forever. There's all kinds of uh, different stories and takes on what's going on and why these Olmec heads exist. I want to show you something about them that you do not realize. First of all, the more that you come closer, the older the, well, let's go with this. Let's go with it. The older the Olmec heads are, the more linking to their original source and genetic identities that they appear to be in likeness of. Okay. Now I'm not going to tell you that this guy looks like a African. I'm not going to tell you this guy looks like an ape and all of that. No, no, no. These are stories that are already in circulation, and you hear, and I mean, but there's no scientific proof behind them or none of this, that, and the third. And I mean, it's just stories that I mean you just can't buy into. They're not exciting. No, I take you somewhere else because I have the key and the understanding to what is going on with our ancient ancestors. Alright. This is the Olmec heads as we see them on TV, as they show us to them. They show them to us on like the History Channel, the Discovery Channel. Um, in some cases online, if you Google, these are the popular searches that come up. Heads similar to what we have here. I want to show you something else as these heads go back, though. This is the likeness that you are, again, used to seeing. There are also heads that look like this. It looks like almost like an African or so, right? Then, what they don't show you is that these heads, they go through an evolutionary change and likeness of these beings. And I'm going to take you to their originating sources. So bear with me. This is going to be a good video, people. I'm going to make this short and sweet and to the point. I'm not going to drag this video out. I'm just going to show you I'm going to make a point and show you. Okay? Now, look at how the older these heads become, on how the genetic makeup of these figures change. Cleft lips. Look at this, people. Look at the genetic identities of these heads shown on what's happening. An evolution of these people shown here in the structure of these heads. Now I'm going to show you something else where this is where it gets better at. I showed you how many heads. This is the first. I showed you. Hold on. Let me show you something. I showed you the one. We have the 2. The 3. I'm going to show you something. This is the most interesting of them all. Right here. This Olmec head. Right there. Now I didn't remove these people. They're removed online. It just shows how, in comparison to a child, how tall the head is actually, and in height. Look at this Olmec head. Besides it's being all cracked up and all of that, you know what that being is, and what it's showing you. Our ancestors are showing you about that being. That being is part fish, meaning an evolutionary ancestor that was closer on the genetic side of being that of a fish. This is from the famous movie, 1940s movie, I believe, The Gill Man. I know the creatures from the Black Lagoon. Look at this creature, and I'm going to bring them side by side. So I'm going to see if I can get enough room here. I'm going to split maybe I can back it off and I can get it more in. I'm going to show you in relations to that creature. Now, can we get more? I'm going to leave it right there. I'm going to show you something about this, people. Look at this Hollywood, supposedly Hollywood created creature. How the eye makeup. Look right here. The eye socket. See the eye sockets? Look at how they are perfectly matched. Now I'm going to show you something else. Look at how from the lip area, right here, going around the nostril and coming around. Look at this. How this is identical to that creature. Let's take it from the top. Let's come around the eyebrow here, come around there, and come around the chin area, and then come down. Look at this, people. It's a match. Look, and come around. It's matching this creature. Now, even the mouth portion of that creature is matching this creature. Now, this is an Olmec head, and this is a Hollywood mythical creature. Now, let's bring on the evidence. Look at. In fact, people, look at this. Look at this here. Look at almost the width from here to here, because there is no nose there, right? And then look at this here. How the nose nostril, like Eric, is almost seemingly attached in the lip area. This is the same thing that is occurring here. Showing you that this being was an actual fish-like being. You're saying, well, Jerome, this is impossible. No, it's not. Because I've given you the evidence already through my Grand Canyon discoveries in my other videos. Remember, in my Grand Canyon video, I showed you that I've discovered God's kingdom in the Grand Canyon. This is this location. Hold on for 1 minute. If you Google Grand Canyon Park National Banner, you will get. I got a larger picture too, by the way, people. If you Google a photo of Grand Canyon Park National Banner, this is a government circulated image. This image would come up, and right here, on either side, there are glyphs in the rocks, carvings in the rocks. And through my paranormal experience and encounter, which led me to that image in the first place, I came up with these cherubs being on either end of this symbol in the middle, and this is the Colorado River. These are angelic-like figures, the twins. We know there's their faces. Okay, and for those of you that hold on, let me leave this up here for 1 second. You can digest that. Where's my cherubs at? Now, I thought that I pulled all of this out already, so I wouldn't actually have to look for this. But I guess I didn't. Where we at? Okay, yeah, here we go. Now, these angels, angelic-like figures, are on the side of the Grand Canyon in an area that's reportedly by scientists to be 1.7 million years old. Colorado River down there. But how in the hell are these figures, which are supposed to be the messengers of God, there? But I'm not going to get into that again, okay, because I'm not for that. What I want to show you is that the Olmec heads, which depict these beings as being part fish, as in our Hollywood blockbuster movie, I think it's 1941, the Gila monster, or no, the creature from the Black Lagoon. Look, the angels, by the way, their wings are the bodies of the megalodon shark. These angels are shown emerging from that creature, which are attaching the Colorado River. And you see the glyph in between. See all of this, people? Yeah, and this is the lost symbol, right? Okay. Well, whatever. Here, let's turn these angels upside down. Before your eyes, I'm turning the angels upside down. And this guy here becomes right here. With his gill on his head, his right eye, his left eye, his mouth, and his collarbone, just as shown here. We have angels slash aliens slash reptilian being all in one. Angels slash reptilian slash alien all in one. And the glyphs globally across the globe in our world and ancient ancestry is telling us this story, but we refuse to see it. Through my paranormal experience and encounter, however, and here's a colored image of that so you can actually see that guy, and you can see the other heads as well too there, people. It tells us who we are. It's my position through the Grand Canyon, all life evolved. And I'm going to be doing another video on that as well too, because I'd have no end. But this guy is here. This part of the collarbone that is separated and shows the gills on it right there, it's my position that's what this is right here. And the Olmec heads are showing us the identical same thing. These Olmec heads, as in everything else in our ancient ancestry, have a evolutionary stage that these heads, when placed in the order of not just by their age, their location, but through their genetic makeup and identity, it shows that through a step-up process from creatures like this, because we evolved from the ocean, our likenesses was once fish, and then emerged to likenesses like this, and then started finally becoming likenesses like this, and then this, and it shows us through the stage from where we emerged from these creatures. Now, think for a minute. Doesn't that make more sense to you than the myths about these creatures and undermine and the stories that undermine that our ancient ancestors did not know what they were doing or were supposed to be doing? Doesn't this make more sense to you people? How can I give you an Olmec head that has mystified, so supposedly our scientists, our world scientists, are leading everything, scholars, and here you have a person that suggests that he is having a paranormal experience and encounter, leaking all of this information together for you to where it is actually sensible, more sensible than anything you have ever heard from anyone else in this world. It's my position on location of the Grand Canyon. This again is the Colorado River. And this is, I guess, would be around the bend from the first location that I showed you. I don't think I can get that in there close enough. There are glyphs along the whole length of this wall. And you can actually see a face there. Let me show you what the face is. Since I'm in the Grand Canyon, I'm gonna take you back there again to show you that there is evidence on that site of ancestry that I'm gonna show you what's there. In this location right there. Now I think it's larger. Is it larger or smaller? No, that's what's on that wall. Hold on for 1 minute. I brought it in closer here, but it gets lighter. Look at what's on that wall, people. Look, these images. You see that being with the wing on the side of his head? Look at how the wing is actually connected to the jaw bones and the jaw. Now this guy's skin, almost not transparent. It shows the defining features of this being. The wing attaching his jawline and up in his temple area, shown attaching, and then there's the eye socket. Then there's a curled over horn like snake-like creature right there on his head, forehead, nose, coming down over the top lip, mouth, chin, jaw area here, and this is right there on the wall of the Grand Canyon. Right next to that is another identifiable image, which is right here. And one of the images that I pulled, there's actually multi-dimensional images there. But one of which that I pulled out is the woman right here. Her nose, her mouth, her chin, and her eye, attaching that of other creatures which I have identified, which is right here. Her likeness, whom I dub as the mother of creation, the Madonna-like woman, as being in this likeness, with other multi-dimensional beings that are shown there in the rocks there. All along here, like what you would expect they're seeing in the rocks in Egypt, is a glyph of ancient ancestry that no one knew nothing about until I discovered it. The same exact thing that is here. You see, people, before there was ancient Egypt, ancient Africa, and ancient anything else, our ancestors used portions of rock sides to demonstrate who they were. They were the art canvases of our world. And this is why when you look at this, you can actually see the faces. Chin, mouth, nose, left eye. No, hold on. Right eye, left eye, forehead, complete faces. Now, in a symmetrical, not in symmetrical, in a sequential order of how they were created. From water, the megalodon shark shows these beings being created, how they were created, genetically bridged over. There's an image of a man right here, and this face that I just showed you is actually in like a setting, like a set stone position in the forehead area of that man figure, which bears the resemblance of that of the god likenesses that we have. Then you have the lion-like creatures with teeth and all there as well too, showing you a chemistry that began from our oceanic elements of our world through those creatures developing likenesses of mankind. The Olmecs knew who they were, just like as I'm explaining it to you. So, the likenesses that they created in stone mimicked those of the ancestors from which they began from. And this is why I can conclusively give you an Olmec stone head in relations to a mythical creature that had that was supposedly created in likeness out of Hollywood. It's my position, people, that not just it's my position that these blockbuster movies, not just in that, but things that we are systematically attracted to. This, because this is our ancestor, and other things that are in music, that are in lyrics, that are in Hollywood blockbuster television shows, that are commercialized to us people in that way, is because people that create images like this have a privilege to an understanding of knowing secret ancient informations that were passed on by our ancestors to let us genetically know who we are, and so we can genetically identify with ourselves, and through that becomes this higher sense of understanding. There's power in knowing who you are. But yet you have those that create such televised shows like this, those in your ancient ancestry as far as religion. These people have taken this information, suppressed it from you, and have elected to control you with it so they can make a dollar off of you, control you mentally, and continue to contaminate your genes through a genetic maintenance process that calls for us to evolutionize from where we originated from, which was creatures such in forms like this here, through to our ape, our African ancestors, and going forward. My name is Jerome Wright. You're watching my Jeronification channel. And people, use your common sense. How can I take a mythical Hollywood creature, link that creature to America, an ancient existence, civilized existence, a creature that bears the identical likeness to that of a fish, a water creature, and then, mind you, take that same creature or creatures to angelic-like features, the twins, the hair, the eyes, the noses, the mouth. Do I have that black or white? That would probably be better. Ronald, I have it here somewhere. That's on. And when you spin it over, these beings all come one with each other. Now, let me add once again. I want to add something else to this before I leave. Since I'm on the Grand Canyon, my Grand Canyon discovery. For those of you that still find it impossible that man emerged from fish, well, actually, scientists are actually saying, let me show you how we have. Let me explain this to you. This is a temple again in the Grand Canyon, atop the Grand Canyon. Nothing is supposed to exist atop the Grand Canyon. Hold on, let me take this one. This will be better to start off from here. Nothing is supposed to exist up at these elevations of our world. There's no evidence that nobody never existed atop the Grand Canyon. But yet I'm telling you that these are temples. Not just telling you that they are temples, but I'm telling you that there are still carvings, readable carvings that could be read in this. Now before I continue, because I'm going to end this video here shortly, before I continue with this, people, logically stated, if our world is, I believe it's 85% all water right now, okay, in this period, in this time, wouldn't it only be logical? Our planet is 4 billion years old. Wouldn't it be only logical that going back to its earliest stages, to the point of where mankind was created, or would it just oceanic, that our planet would have been 100% all water? Meaning that elevations of water would have actually possibly been up atop here. So now, given that scenario that we live in a water world, an aquarium, we are fishing in an aquarium, and as these levels lower, different evolutions of life adapted to being on lands, just as we see it happening today. You drive by a pond and you see these turtles sitting there perched on these logs protruding from the waters. These creatures coming from the water, evolutionizing from the water onto land, and eventually, maybe in a million years, these same turtles that now emerge from the water can't get from the water, by them perching on these perches on these pieces of logs or whatever that they're on, finally have adapted to where they can stay out of the sun longer. I mean, stay out of the water longer and longer and longer and longer for longer periods of time. So finally, they are like we are today. Makes sense, don't it? Well, people, this common sense approach to how we emerge from the oceanic waters of our world is what needs to be addressed. Now, this temple, which you can Google, I believe it's the Isis temple. I previously named it, I believe, the Brahma-Zoroaster temple, has these images. Hold on, let me go over. You see this? It's my position that this shell-like object on top reminds you of Atlantis. There were stairwells there, a stairwell casing that slid away. There's also carvings of a head right there, and I'm gonna bring it into you in a different form so you can actually see it. I just wanted to bring you in closer. But more so, what's happening here is that there's a great white shark down here with legs, a megalodon shark that has legs, and another ancestral portion of this creature, or a branching of this creature, is shown here, coming up the side to where it's open up at the face of the likenesses of mankind right here. So you have 1, 2, 3 creatures shown from the base, emerging from the genetics from this creature. Now, when you Google the image, the only thing you will not see is just the hair. I added the hair to highlight the accent, the face, which is already there. The eyes, the eye sockets, the nose, the mouth is all there. Now, here's what the image looks like. All I did is squared it off. But now that I showed you, when you Google this image, this is what you will see of the Grand Canyon. And that box square that I put there, you will see a mouth, a nose, a right eye, and a left eye. and all I did was added the hair, and you will see the shark down here, and then you will see that this is a temple. The seashell-like cap on that temple. You can see where the stairwell slid away, and you will identify with me as this being the ruins of ancestors that were atop of a location that was not supposed to actually exist, people. Ancestry up atop the Grand Canyon. This is not supposed to exist. Showing you that we evolved from fish. A record. A holy grail of a record that shows you that we came from fish to this likeness. It's showing you that we came from this likeness. Here's a better picture of it, because these are all my drawings. I have them online. The the megalodon, great white shark right there, shows you from this likeness came this likeness. From a fish came mankind. Chin, mouth, nose, right eye socket, left eye over here. The top of the head was broken off, okay, which cut off the hair piece. But if you see the hair that I added, this is what I added. I didn't even accent the face. When you Google the image, people, all you have to do is color in the hair yourself, and it completes the picture of what is there. These creatures, you would not know that they were there, because you would not expect to find them to exist in our evolutionary chain. I know that they exist through my paranormal experience and encounter, so I can highlight them for you and show you which creatures calls for the creation of mankind. These are temples, people. Temples. My name is Gerone Wright, and it is my position that the Olmec heads, just like I have shown you what my discovery with the Grand Canyon, life evolved from that area, the Grand Canyon area. It's my position that God's kingdom is on location of the Grand Canyon. And there are also stories about how God's kingdom, I think there was a passage in the Bible where God abolished the people for mocking him for having his kingdom destroyed and all of this. There's stories like that there which I would not go into. This is where man was created. Here. Began. There's a record. I found the record. And there's images that I didn't even bring up. There's other images that I have that I can show you. And what's good about this is that these images that I'm showing you, people say, well, Gerone, when I first started out, you're just showing pictures. What other proof do you have? I mean, a picture say 1,000 words. These locations, it's not just these pictures that are in circulation today, but there are archive images from tourists that visited these areas, from when the first camera was created, and people out taking pictures and images. There are millions of pictures, of photos in circulation that have a better photogenic impression of this than what is here now. So everything that I'm showing you is verified through the archived images of these locations. Not just here, people, but globally. You don't need a scientist to come and show you that this fish is the same as this fish, but remarkably, they are in the image of man. My name is Gerone Wright. You're watching my Geronification channel, and the Olmec heads are a symbolization of how those civilization of people emerge from likenesses of this creature, which emerged from the waterways of our world through and became images such as this, through to images such as this, through to images such as this, and subsequently to likenesses of that, which makes perfect sense if you want to look at it in a perfect sense way. My name is Gerone Wright. Thank you for joining me on my videos. I have actually had a couple days, took a week off here. I'm going to make another video and then another video. So behind this video is going to be 3 more. I have 200 plus videos here, people, that you need to see because I have no end. There are a lot of things that I am not stating here, okay, but if you can read between the lines, you understand what is happening or what there is to be known. If you want to know the truth, all you have to do is turn to within yourself. Let go of the third party people that are claiming to be the doorways to people that you need to associate with in divine sense, that have not shown you anything but the same old stuff that you, your mom, and their mom have actually seen. No one to this date, not no ancient alien theorists, not no pope, not no one, not no alien flying in on his flying saucer, have described to you in the way that I have what is happening here in reality in our world, except for me. I even have videos that send you beyond our world, or take you beyond our world to show you how this actually even happened in the first place. No one, the most, not no Leonardo da Vinci, not no Michelangelo, not no Nostradamus, no one, people, have described why this guy looks the way he does. And here you have a man that has 200 plus videos claiming to have a paranormal experience and encounter that links him to everything, giving you the most plausible explanation for why this guy looks the way he does that you have ever heard to date or will ever hear ever. You know why? Because reality is that this guy is in fact stating that his likenesses emerge from likenesses like this, which came from the oceanic properties of our world. We live in an aquarium, people, that is lessening in its volume of water, which is subsequently causing for the life forms of the ocean to emerge onto land, evolve onto land, and adapt to other environments that they would not otherwise be in. And I know, people, I can take us places with this that you cannot even imagine an explanation. But I just don't want to get sidetracked right now at this point. Our Olmec ancestors at one point knew who they genetically and identically were. And this is why these beings look so much alike. This is why you can take that fish-like presence right here, which is very compelling. You see that? And equate it with this guy right here. This guy's a fish, and this is why this structure, this ancient antique structure was created to reflect who this guy genetically was. And he's stating he was a fish and ultimately a reptile. You see this, people? My name is Gerone Wright. You're watching my Geronification channel. And you will get more videos as this. I have no end. I'm going to end with that. I made this video longer than what I wanted to. Thank you. Genetic bloodlines, how they were bridged over, genetic manipulation, and a continued maintenance process that actually evolved around cult-like rituals, which these beings engaged to alter their genetic being. Okay, from the origins of what they actually evolved from, which I actually know. Each and every civilization of our world, ones that are in today, in the modern day, back to every of those that are on record, and then, remarkably, I can take us beyond that to ancestors that you had no idea ever existed. Through my paranormal experience and encounter that allows me to do so. Okay, our Olmec heads, we have been trying to figure them out for, it seems like, forever. There's all kinds of... I have the key and the understanding to what is going on with our ancient ancestors. Alright, this is the Olmec heads as we see them on TV, as they show us to them. They show them to us on like the History Channel, the Discovery Channel. In some cases online, if you Google, these are the popular searches that come up. Heads similar to what we have here. I want to show you something else as these heads go back, though. This is the likeness that you are, again, used to seeing. There are also heads that look like this. It looks like almost like an African or so, right? Different stories and takes on what's going on and why these Olmec heads exist. I want to show you something about them that you do not realize. First of all, the more that you come closer, the older the, well, let's go with this. Let's go with it. The older the Olmec heads are, the more linking to their original source and genetic identities that they appear to be in likeness of. Okay? Now, I'm not going to tell you that this guy looks like a African. I'm not going to tell you this guy looks like an ape and all of that. No, no, no. These are stories that are already in circulation and you hear, and I mean, but there's no scientific proof behind them or none of this, that, and the third. And I mean, it's just stories that, I mean, you just can't buy into. They're not exciting. No, I take you somewhere else, because then what they don't show you is that these heads, they go through an evolutionary change and likeness of these beings. And I'm going to take you to their originating sources. So bear with me. This is going to be a good video, people. I'm going to make this short and sweet and to the point. I'm not going to drag this video out. I'm just going to show you. I'm going to make a point and show you. Okay? Now, look at how the older these heads become, on how the genetic makeup of these figures change. Cleft lips. Look at this, people. Look at this. Hello, everybody. This is Gerone Wright, and once again, you're joining me on my Geronification channel here on YouTube. Okay, and in this video, I will be presenting to you an amazing video with regards to the Olmec heads and the rationale behind such objects being created. Okay, it's my position in all of my videos that I have here on YouTube that nothing mattered more to our ancestors than who they genetically were, meaning their genetic identities. And each and every one of these ancient artifacts, in some cases megalithic structures, they reference who our ancestors genetically were.